See, there are people out there that believe they own whatever they do, they run shit, or they run people's lives, or something like that. And it's a complex. It's a very, very simple complex that goes through their minds. That kind of simple complex is I'm better than them, or I'm better than this person because they're doing the fucked up thing and I'm getting paid for it, but that's the reason why. So, let's take a pimp, for example. A pimp decides that he's going to allow someone to fuck his girl or to fuck what he thinks is his girl. And understand that the woman is just trying to get paid. So that's the reason why a lot of it became legal in Las Vegas, because there are women who are actually good at like pretending to be in love with people. And it's more along the lines of it actually being towards psychology, sexual psychology, I guess. A lot of dudes break down, they start talking about their problems, they start realizing that not everything is the way that they thought it was. The world is constantly moving, constantly changing. It left them behind a long time ago. And that's where I think the whole process of it came from, is that men are afraid of like a changing world and a changing narrative or whatever. They believe that the narrative should remain the same, and women should be treated a certain way, and then you think you're out of line and blah 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 blah. All that other different shit, you know. And then I don't know. I'm looking at things through kind of like a warped lens, because obviously I've been through abuse. Obviously I've been the abuser, and it really comes down to the fact that the reason why I was abused, the reason why I was the abuser, is because I didn't know what was going on in my life. I didn't understand. I was reacting to everything, and I realized this through a certain lens. And the certain lens that I realized it through was through the eyes of literally understanding that that person that was near me went through sexual trafficking. The reason why she hated herself and constantly ate food or became fat or some shit, or was fat, it's because she thought that if she made herself fat, then no one would use her. So that happens a lot in older women, and when they believe they've been sexually trafficked. There was this chick that I know, Sierra. She was kind of a slut a little bit when she was younger. But what happened is, I think what happened is she changed her mind. She changed a lot about what she was thinking, and instead of like, okay, well, I can still be the same person, but as happens a lot with women and actually in the prostitution rings. Happens a lot to everyone, to a bunch of different people. Some people I know, some people I don't. So it's believed that they because of them being fat or because of them being bigger, dudes will find them less appealing, and they can do what they want, or they can go wherever they want to, and still doing the same things. And that's not the case, because if you don't have sex with the dudes that the dudes want you to have sex with, you're usually not getting the money. So yeah, that happens. And they go on to the next bitch that they believe is hotter or something like that, or makes more money for them or something like that. So you go from number 1 to like number 15 in like 2 seconds. Like, yeah, like over the course of months and shit like that. So that, I mean, yeah, that's the reason why. But also I'm talking about the dudes. The reason for this whole psychological process that they believe is actually real, or the fact that they know that she's literally getting into shit, and that they blame it on other people, like when parents understand their daughter is prostituting, and yet they don't understand that the reason why that their daughter's prostituting is they didn't teach them about any of those little underground places, and they believe that they can use it to be able to make themselves better, and that happens because they didn't know anything about it before. And they think that their situation is different. And it's not. It's never different. Psychology inside of a man who controls a bunch of women is the fact that he's always trying to keep his nose and his hands out of everything that whatever woman is experiencing all the time. So, yeah, he wants to keep his nose and his hand out of whatever business that he's putting on a plate for a person to be able to make themselves seem a little more attractive, I guess. This reason, I think, is reasoning, because there's reason, I guess, is the reasoning behind it is like people don't get it really. They don't get the point where this guy's gonna take care of me, he's gonna give me all the stuff that I need, and all I have to do is have sex with all of his friends. And that's the point. Is they aren't his friends, they're his clients that he's lined up, most likely. And that's the reason why they're not his friends. They're not people he knows. They just dap off or say something hi or something like completely stupid or something like that. But yeah, that's the reason why a lot of dudes run trains on chicks sometimes. Because they're into that mode where there's a bunch of dudes that getting their fucking lug nuts off. I'm gonna get my lug nuts off too. Except when you're a pimp, you're just like, hey, you know what? It's good. It's all good, baby. It's all good. I got you. I'm gonna take care of you. You're my princess. Like that. Like, yeah, all that shit and stuff like that. So what these dudes do, and what these dudes like to do, is they like to get a girl when she's younger, when she doesn't actually believe in all the other different stuff. She didn't see the sexual trafficking happening around her or the people themselves moving or anything like that. They just see different dudes hanging out with different chicks. And they believe that that is an intimate relationship. No matter what the relationship actually is, they themselves assume that the relationship that they're going to experience is different from all the other girls because they're different. And that's the reason why. That's the reason why they actually get into it, and then they start doing it, or they do it because they like it, because they like having the experience. They like experiencing men's touch. They don't realize that it's going to kill them later on. The point is that a lot of women do die in the sexual trafficking rings. They don't know why they die, but I know why they die. Is because eventually what happens is they start making their own decisions, and they think they can make their own decisions, and that's a lot of time what I think kind of poses going to go down to. They're going to start realizing that oh my God, she's making her own decisions. We can't have that. Like, that's basically the mob mentality, boss, pimp mentality, and all those other different things. Can't have her making money on her own, because if she doesn't, then she won't be dependent on me. And that's the reason why those dudes smack all their bitches and hit them around and stuff, is because they want to believe and understand they are in control. And that is the point. That is the real reason for a lot of different sexual misconduct that people don't understand. The reasons why certain girls come out and say things to certain people and stuff like that, because sometimes they're being paid to do so. But understand that that's not always the case. Sometimes girls come out because they want to, because they feel like it, because they realize that they've been used, and the pimp that's been using them. And that's the point, is the girl's in the game. The girl doesn't want to be in any part of the game, but she's in the game. And then the ATF and the FBI come to her and be like, hey, there's this dude that I think you can point out to everyone. If you come out, more people will come out because you're being brave, and other people will actually follow suit. That's what they believe. Sometimes that happens. Other times it doesn't. Other times witnesses go awry. Other times witnesses decide that they're not going to testify, or they choose not to testify, because that's the point. It's like, that's the point. That's what's happened in New Orleans, and that's the reason why it's gone so far. Because that's the reason why dudes have been able to make sure that these women don't talk. These women don't say anything. That's the point, is whether or not you choose to say something, there's still sometimes where you can admit it in court if you record them. If you record them, you don't have to be in the room that they're saying. You just said, we got this recording off of the phone, and he's just going to be dumbfounded and surprised about where it actually came from, and it's you. But it's okay. It's fine. So this is the reason why I believe that a lot of families kind of make that happen, you know? Because no matter how mad they really are, most of the time, a lot of times families really kind of make that happen. But like, not like single moms or anything like that, but like huge families that have like past pretenses of like people in certain games and certain circles and stuff like that. They put their kids in that circle, and they believe that they're completely and utterly safe for a little while. And that's the reason why a lot of times that there are parents that are like completely dependent upon their child's actual wants and needs, and then they call their parents, and then they're like, oh, I love you, sorry I fucked up big time, or whatever, some sort of excuse that she comes up with, because trying to make sure that she can make it in the family. But the point is, it didn't matter if she didn't give a shit. It matters that the fact that the family themselves put her there, because they are huge into religion, or they're huge into certain things, and they use people for examples. They say that, I'm going through trials and tribulations and all that other different stuff. I'm going through struggles and everything like that, and everybody has to understand my struggles. So yeah, it's used for sermons sometimes. And that's the point, is a lot of times that a religion they don't realize is like, it's not like Boondock Saints. Religion doesn't do that. Religion doesn't help gay people actually get out there. Never did. It's not true. Whatever you're thinking about religion ever helping homosexual people, it does not matter. They didn't do that. The government actually did that. The government you hate and you push away did that. They helped people. They made the no ask, no tell rule. They made the don't ask, don't tell rule because it doesn't matter. You don't have to. You don't have to be that, or you don't have to say anything. It's fine. It's fine. Don't ask, don't tell. If you know, don't tell. If you are, don't ask. If you know, don't ask. If you are, don't tell. Don't ask, don't tell. And then they decided they're not going to do that. They're going to switch it up because you know why? Because society has become less racist and homophobic. And that's the reason why the don't ask, don't tell rule became into fruition. It's because of anyone being like, oh, okay, like there's like generals that are like gay and shit like that. So no, they weren't gay. They were just really accepting of all cultures and sexualities and genders. A lot of generals that were like really hate the fact that my son, he's gay and he doesn't get the same shit treatment that a lot of motherfuckers get, and I still love him and I want him to do good and his stuff, and I want him to be in the military because he's just my son. I love it. I want to be in the military. So that's the point. And because they love their kids. People love their kids no matter what, even if they're convicted serial killers sometimes. So that's the real reason. The real reason why people don't realize this situation until it's too late. The real reason why certain pimps and certain people who walk those girls around and present them to people and stuff like that and try to gain clientele don't realize what they're doing. They're literally showing off their entire cards to every single person who literally has a camera that can watch them. And where do you think those cameras are? They're on CCTV cameras. Just like the ones that literally picked up Andy Dick whispering in a dude's ear and then that dude punching him in the face. Yeah. So, or grabbing his dick, I don't know. And then that dude punching him in the face and knocking him completely out. That same camera, or those same cameras in question, can make sure that they understand the traffic of actual human trafficking. And that's the reason why they've been able to actually to pick it up, of course. To understand that yes, human trafficking is bad. It's bad. I agree with that. It's very bad. It's completely bad, and you shouldn't do it. And also the reasons why certain people are getting popped, and certain people are getting taken away, and they're like, oh my God, what's wrong? I didn't do anything wrong. And it's like, yeah, you have a weed charge, okay, and you're on parole for what? Human trafficking. So where'd the weed come from? You know. And that's the reason why I believe that people are going to get out of jail once they realize they're not in some like huge goddamn conspiracy of like thousands and thousands of black dudes, like millions of black dudes, literally just doing human trafficking. And they got put in jail because they were suspected of doing something else. And you have to understand that too. And the reason why a lot of people base this like, oh my God, there's so many black people in jail, is like just because there's so many black people in the same neighborhood looking like they're doing the exact same thing. And either they're a witness to something, or they've done it before, or someone found out, or the family found out, they fucked their little cousin or some shit like that. You have to understand, a lot of people have secrets. A lot of families have secrets and stuff like that. I put out my secrets because I don't give a shit about them anymore. They're not traumatic to me anymore. It's traumatic to say things that, again, because I was an abuser, and I got abused, and I realized that I just wanted someone to understand where I was coming from, and I didn't know how to communicate that. And it's not going to take back what I did. It's not going to take back anything. And my little brother will never talk to me probably ever again. But I don't give a shit. My little brother has more problems than I do, so. It's not the fact that he's any sexuality or anything like that, or that he likes anything. It's just the fact that he tried to touch a dog penis with his tongue. He was fucked up before I ever even became an abuser towards him. He is fucked up in the head already, and that's the reason why. Didn't really do anything, and because every time I tried to apologize to him and tell him that's the reason. I think the reason why I abused someone, or I hurt my family or my friend, who is my family. He would just say, "Don't worry about it," and I was like, "No, I'm trying to tell you what happened to me, and the reason why I took it out on someone that I thought that I loved, because I thought that I was being, I didn't know what I was thinking. That's the point. Is I thought that I just wanted to show someone what someone did to me, and all I needed was someone to talk to that was an adult, and that never came. We are going to get into some subjects about certain people that I do not like, and I will actually talk about them today because no one's listening, and that's the point. Is someone's going to find this eventually and realize that I was telling the truth about myself. Over the course of about a month or so, I realized that my stepmom was still thinking about really, really terrible things about me, and really terrible things as in she was attracted to me. And I realized this for about, a month or so. I started talking to her and saying, oh, let's have sex, or something like that. And she's like, we're never going to have sex. Obviously, we're never going to have sex. But then what she would do is she would wait like 2.5 hours or something like that in a place to see if I would actually jump her bones and try to have sex with her or anything like that. And that's the reason why I was pissed off at her. The reason why I was angry with her, because I knew she had feelings towards me, or even sexual feelings at all. And this is the reason why I don't like her to this day. And she probably knows already because someone told her, but I don't give a shit if she knows. It doesn't matter to me. The reason why I don't like her, the reason why I'm nervous around her, is because she's a terrible person. She's an absolute terrible person. She probably fucked a few different kids, and yeah, that's the reason why. Is because she's like, yeah, she did. She's always hanging out with younger boys, and she's like paying them and giving them juice boxes and shit, or whatever, to like help her clean her house and stuff. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but that's the point. And then one night when she is actually at the place that I was at, I try to go up and hug her and tell her that I don't want to do any of those things. And I was going to tell her that I don't find her attractive and I want a better relationship with her. And then in retrospect, I'm glad I didn't, because she would have never said these things. When I was about, when I was about 17 or 16, it started. She decided that my dad wasn't good enough for her sexually, and she started seeking alternative measures. That alternative measure was me masturbating in another room, and she decided that she was going to wait until I stopped and then ask me where the lotion was, in a robe with her cleavage showing. So, these are the things that happened. I told her I didn't have any lotion, because I didn't have any lotion. Sometimes I dry jerk it. It's okay. Oh, dry jerks are like crazy motherfuckers. It's like, yeah. But this is the point, is that's the reason why I wanted to know. Hello, viewer. I'm talking about the trauma that happened in my life. And I'm talking about my terrible, terrible, terrible stepmom. And the reasons why I have kept this in for a very long time, because I didn't want her to know about it. I didn't want her to know that I knew. And I didn't want her to know that I was smart enough to be able to see through her bullshit and understand that, yes. And that's the reason why I don't really like her anymore. I was going to hug her and tell her that I love her and I want her to be better and not like, and I don't have those feelings toward her, because I said some things that were kind of like leading towards, hopefully she didn't understand those, and she did. She understood them, and they turned into her saying, I have an hour. So what that insinuated to me is she has an hour to do whatever I want, and then I walked off. I hugged her tightly and I said no, and I walked off. She, understanding that she was in a different state or whatever, she decided that she was going to act like nothing happened, and she didn't say those things, and all those things didn't matter. The point is that she was a hefty abuser. She was probably a hefty abuser. She was probably a hefty lady that liked to have sex. And then she had sex with a bunch of different dudes that my dad didn't know about. And that's the point, is I don't give a shit what their relationship was. It didn't matter to me, and I didn't care. When it started to affect me and started to affect the people around me, that's when I cared. And that's the reason why I don't like my youngest niece actually going to her house, no matter if my aunt's there or not. She comes up with lies and different things about people that she doesn't like. She comes up with different things that she didn't like my aunt. She didn't like my aunt sitting in her living room because she had a room for her. An old rickety bed that she decided to push with screws together, and she probably would have fallen apart with her in it, because she's an old person. She shakes around or rocks a lot. Doesn't matter. But the point is that she made up these things to be able to try to get me into coitus with her. She made up all these things about these people that she doesn't like, or the people that she doesn't care for, to be able to have something to talk about with me that she thought that I would actually get to know or understand as a truth. And that's what a lot of abuser adults do. What they do is they find a little tidbit of notion of things that they think you're about, and that's the reason why. Is because I initiated the contact because I knew that she was actually that way. I knew that. And then I told her and confronted her about the words that she told me. And I said, all I want to do is smoke with you. That's it. All I want to do is smoke with you. That's it. That's all. All I want to do is participate in the things that you do because I think that we can have a better relationship. That is what I insinuated. And the one thing she tells me is she has an hour. So you'll understand the reasons why I don't like abusing people. I was very hurt and very, very badly hurt. Very hurt. And the reason why I even took it out on my younger brother, because I had such a strong bond with him, and I broke that bond, that moment, basically. And I'll never have that bond again. That's something I have to accept. That's the reason why I knew that she was doing these things, and she was probably doing these things with other people as well. I was worried about my brother's life. I was worried about a bunch of different people's lives who are now endangered because of her own stupid goddamn fucking shit. So these things make people may say, "No, isn't true," or whatever. It's not true, or it never happened. But I saw it happen. I understood, and I was the witness that actually attested to a bunch of different things that happened. And she basically decided to act like everything was okay, and now we weren't going to have sex until a certain time, until nobody was around. So that wasn't going to happen. So she didn't happen. Didn't happen. Never happened. And she decided, and that is the reason why I was super, super drunk and super, super pissed off and super, super confused about the reason why she was invited to a certain person's birthday party. Didn't matter to me that she was. It just mattered to me that I needed to get away from her and get as drunk as possible to not think about the bullshit and the trauma that I had experienced. So that's the reason why. It's the absolute reason why. And I hate her to this day. I hope she chokes on some poison. How's it going, viewer? Talking about the traumatic experience that I had with my stepmom and the reason why I'll never respect her ever again, or ever like her, or ever want to be around her. The reason why she avoids me now, because everybody knows that somehow she decided to hit on me, and I decided to tell her to go fuck herself. Because when I hugged her, I was going to tell her that I wanted a better relationship with her, and then she told me that she had an hour. So I mean, an hour insinuating that she was ready to do whatever she thought I thought I was going to do. Yeah, it was fucked up. It was really fucked up, and I really feel like it's like, yeah, I'm good, but it was fucked up, and it really hurt. It really hurt a lot, and I don't want to be around her ever again. I realized that, like, yes, there were stupid fucking things that I said, but that was the point. Is I wanted to know if she was capable of it, and she is. She's capable of abusing my niece, even though she goes over there constantly. She's capable of, or it's possible, not capable, I guess. It's possible that she's probably abusing my niece and telling her things that she shouldn't fucking do, or some bullshit. And to tell you the truth, I just want her to die. I want her to die. I really do. I want her to stop doing the things she's doing. I want her to fucking die. And this is like against my better judgment sometimes, is because there are people out there that like. Well, I had a dad, but my dad was I don't know if my dad ever told me the truth. Sometimes there's a reason why I never told him anything. It's sometimes better to have an absence of. I'm not saying that you're better off, but like sometimes the closest people to you can traumatize you the most, and you realize that they're not good people, and you realize that the person who told you, like, this is the first experience I ever had with someone who was trying to abuse me. It was a situation that happened at a park that I used to go to in the neighborhood, and there was a woman that basically was drunk as shit, and then and she decided that she was going to make me, or try to make me, get on my knees and just meet her, I guess, and then I don't know what she was going to do. She was going to kiss me, I guess, or some shit, or I don't know. But I decided against it, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go anywhere near that or anything like that. You have to understand that I don't like that. You need to stop. And she was just like, oh no, get on your knees, it's fine. And she was drunk as shit. She was not aware of my age, or completely aware of my age, because I was only 5. So mind you, that's the reason why she and I just ran off and talked to my mom, and I said, Mom, this chick tried to make me get on my knees. I didn't know what was going on. And she goes, oh, did you? And I was like, no, I didn't. And she's like, okay. So obviously my mom had experienced a bunch of abuse, and she was numb to it sometimes, or I don't know. I have no idea what happened to her. Her mom died when she was 13. Her dad died when she was 18. So I have no idea what happened in between. She never told me. She never told me any of that shit. And she told me like their parents died, but she didn't tell me afterwards what happened or the way she reacted to it. You know, so I don't know. She just thinks that sometimes people use the soundboards, I guess, or there's like an echo chamber, and she just doesn't want that, I guess. And right, like I say, I will give anyone the benefit of the doubt, including my mom, until she proves herself to be completely stupid. And this is what happened with my stepmom. So, or that's what happened with my stepmom. I proved to her without a doubt that I am. I proved to myself without a doubt that she is an abuser, and she will not stop until she abuses someone else. And I'm afraid. Very afraid for my nieces and the way that they're actually being raised. I'm afraid for my sister and understanding that she trusts this woman, and I'm afraid at all times. Yeah, I'm afraid. But that's the point, is you get afraid and then you don't get afraid when you realize that shit might work out for the best. People might stop and realize that she's a terrible person, and hopefully she goes to either jail or gets poisoned for it and understands she needs to stop doing terrible fucking shit to people. I want to poison her, but yeah, that's the point. Yeah. So yeah, like I really wasn't gonna say this out loud. I really was gonna say it out loud, but I think that some people consider me to be the initiator of the contact, and not her, like saying to me when in a drunken stupor in her bed with my dad sitting right next to her, passed out, saying that like if you want it, you got it. I'm just like, what? And then I'm like, disgusting, you stupid bitch, like, you stupid fucking bitch, like, what the fuck? That's fucking disgusting. And she was in her panties, like literally in the darkness, just really drunk as shit, and just tells me if you want, anytime you want it, you got it. It's like, no context, no anything else. Not if you want something to eat, you got it, sort of thing. And even then, I would have taken it a little bit weird because she was actually sitting with her legs open. So I didn't think I was gonna ever say this. And the reason why I hate her and think that she's a terrible person and a drunk and an asshole and a fucking stupid abuser bitch. So, and I'm afraid for my step brothers and sisters, because they view her as completely fucking honorable, and she gets drunk somewhat. That's all she does. And it sucks because that's what I have to, like, not tell them, but probably gonna find out already. This is on recording, so. Thanks for a little bit of support. That's okay. And I know. I'm sorry too. The point is that I really wanted her to, like, I wanted to tell her that I wanted a better relationship with her. I didn't want her to constantly think that she had to either please me or fucking please me or anything like that. I wanted to make sure that she had like everything. I wanted to help her out and stuff like that. But no, she didn't want any help. She just wanted to fuck little boys, I guess, or just me, I guess, or something like that. And something that she either misses my dad or some shit in some real weird fucked up way. I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to understand it, but I know I'll understand it eventually, and I'll realize that she's just a fucked up person in general, or or she was fucking dudes for money. I don't know. Like, I don't know what she's doing. She always had money or something like that. I met other women that actually did that. So, and I've had some sympathies towards them, but not sympathies towards their addictions or sympathies towards their actual fucked upness. I've seen women that actually have some terrible addictions. I've done drugs with them. It's not a bad thing sometimes, but also, like, I've understood that that's a huge thing when girls realize that they're either lesbian or they're anything like that. It's a huge thing that they don't fucking acknowledge, and they don't realize is the real reason why they're actually even using men like the way they're using them. Or they feel as though they're either pansexual or something like that. They're just not telling anyone. So that's the reason why I'm always like before you even understand your sexuality or yourself at all or anything that you know about yourself, just understand if you're going through any problems, any anxiety, any depression, anything, and that's kind of the way that you get out of being either an abuser or like all that other shit. Yeah, I'm still understanding that my stepmom is still involved in certain things and certain facets of my niece's lives, and I hope that she never influences them to do something fucked up. Or my young niece, who is very, very susceptible. Hopefully she's got a mindful, because I was about that same age when I realized that there were people that weren't so savory around me, and my dad was kind of like conveying this notion that like, oh, they're just regular people or shit like that. When I would see some shit like their weird fucking smiles every single time that like they would see a child or they would see somebody like that, just like I'm kind of suspicious of that motherfucker right there. I kind of want to hit him in the nuts. Like, yeah. So like, well, that's the point. Is I don't know what happened to my mom. Like, that I don't know. She never told me. You know, she always understood that was a different part of her life, and she would never actually burden us with that. I think she told my sister, and that's the reason why my sister was getting away with all the shit that she got away with. And that's just the fucked up part that I think is happening. So, or that thought was happening in her life, and the reasons why she thought that she could get away with it too. Like, she would have parties. Obviously my mom would have parties. Her mom died when she was 18, dude. So like literally, I know she had tons of parties and had fun or whatever or anything like that. But like also too, she didn't tell me. So all I'm doing is elaborating. I don't know if she got traumatized by someone or she felt like, I don't know. It's just I know she didn't tell me that she dated a dude who sold coke for like 10 years. So I mean, I'm not trying to like put together any puzzle pieces on the dude, but I'm just trying to realize that my mom actually probably was traumatized because of the reason why she actually dated a dude that was in that business, basically the business of doing things and selling people what they want for a nominal fee, I guess. The service industry, basically. But that's the point. I don't know. Like, I love my mom, and I'm never gonna stop loving my mom, but. That's the point, is I didn't love my stepmom when she did those things or she said those things, and it made me so mad to understand that she literally had her children taken away from her, and they probably should have stayed gone. Like they probably would have better lives. I'm not saying that they have worse lives now, but I'm saying they probably would have thought better of themselves if they would understand that, like, literally she would get drunk and numb herself every single fucking day. And maybe she got raped or hurt or abused, because that's what happens, is you literally get abused, you become an abuser, and if you don't fucking acknowledge it, that's what happens. So, yeah. That's the point, is I'm never going to respect her like I used to respect her. I'm never going to see her in that light ever again. And the point is that this happened before all the fucked up things happened to me. Like, yeah. Like, I would see that my stepmom was gone for like 2 to 3 days at a time or something like that, and then she wouldn't tell my dad at all where she had been. Just that the fact that she's okay. So my dad was like literally giving up on life, and that was the person he was gonna give up on life with, I guess. He was acting like he had this thing. I don't know what he had, but it was like a condition or something like that. He had a blockage in his neck or something like that, in an artery, and the more he would literally eat of like different stuff that was like bad for him, the more that he would this blockage would keep happening, because he enlarged his heart when he was doing football or stuff like that. And I don't know if he was doing any like supplements or any steroids or anything like that. That's probably the reason why people have enlarged hearts or engorged testicles or small testicles, because they eventually do some sort of steroid and it fucks them up forever, basically. It's really bad sometimes. People don't really get it. It's just like there's like a huge process of like people taking certain steroids that they don't get in it. So I don't know, just there's a bunch of fucked up shit that happened, and I'm trying to acknowledge it, and I'm trying to make sure that it doesn't happen to my actual nieces, because my nieces they're not my life, but they're part of my life, and that's the reason why I want to protect them and make them feel safe and comfortable, and not have to feel like they're surviving day after day after day. The point is, I don't really get why they actually. I don't get why she's actually doing this, or she's actually doing favors for people, and then I'm trying to abuse them eventually. It's just like, I don't know, I don't get it at all. Like she tested me after tested me, and like these little situations where it's cool, man. I don't believe in religion, but yeah, bless you too, man. It's cool. I'm not gonna say that all the time, but yeah, it's like you're God too. You're fine. You're good, man. Just go do what you want. I love this. You're gonna play 6 KSL. Good luck to you too, man. Yeah. I realized that how much of an abuser she was is she was going unchecked for a really long time. And she could have abused other people, and I wouldn't even know it, and I wouldn't even notice it at all. That's the point. Is sometimes people hide, and you don't know where they hide sometimes, and or not where they're hiding, but what they're hiding in, and what they're doing, or they're saying that they're hiding in abusing people or something like that. And I just love like that. Like when I feel really fucking like messed up or hurt, I listen to dark humor sometimes, and it makes me feel better. It makes me understand that yes, these personalities are being represented in society, and it's saying them in a different light. But it's like, I mean, that's just the reason why I respect it. So it's because as the reason why I watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because there's shitty shit that happens all the time, and like these dudes are just rolling with it. Like that's all they're doing. It's like not the entire attitude of the situation, but like. But the point is, it's acknowledging shit that actually happens in people's lives, and the way that you could react to it if shit actually went awry, like completely ignoring it or something like that, or just or not learning, or becoming completely deficit because you don't believe in life, or you don't believe in people that are around you, or becoming pseudo gay or some shit like that because you believe that you want to have a normal relationship, and you don't believe you can have that with women. You know, or becoming a narcissist and completely envelop yourself with people who hate you, and there's so many different mental illnesses that are actually even touched on, and even becoming self-obsessed like Dennis and shit like that, and stuff. I just believe that those are the metaphors that I believe in, and the like the fucked up shit that they say is just like sometimes what people are exactly thinking, and you wouldn't hear it and you wouldn't know it. It's like that song by 21 Pilots. It's like you would never know the psychopath sitting next to you. Like if these songs were never out, if these things were never said, you would never know the person who's like crazy as shit, just literally like plotting and shit. Yeah, I hope so too, man. I hope so too. I don't hate people for that long, so I don't hate people for that long. That's why I don't. But that's the point. Is I have to hate it, and I have to force myself to not like people because they're in my life and they're still abusing people. They're still doing something fucked up, and I know they are. And I really want them to like not do that, or want to know why they're doing that, so I continue the friendship. And then I just find out that they're literally just shitty people, and they've been doing it forever. And then it sucks. And that's the reason why I don't want to know. Like I don't want to know. I love that song. What is it? Tool. Blue. It's like I didn't want to know, sort of thing. Like I didn't know how fucked up you were, and then that was the point of like no return for me for our friendship. It's like I didn't know exactly how stupid you were until I saw some bullshit and then understood exactly what happened and the reason why certain girls are more comfortable being next to this kid that they fucked or some shit when he was like 15 or some shit. That's the reason why he hates his parents. That's the reason why he hates his mom or his dad or anybody. You know, like he feels as though he feels as though he's gotten fucking like taken advantage of throughout the entire system by his parents. His parents didn't tell him. All he had to do was just ask them to have sex with him. He feels as though he has a resource, even though he's being traumatized literally day after day and being used by people who just want his money. That's what happens a lot, and in situations that like people are like constantly like looking for someone to provide for them, and then but the point is that they've pushed out every single person in their life that can provide for them. So they don't want someone to provide for them. They want someone to indulge their lie. And it sucks, man. It really does suck. And I realized that that's the point of like certain people's abusive relationships. I realized that was my ex sometimes. She wanted me to have a lie with her, you know? Like, that was the point. She didn't want to kiss me when she got home from work. She didn't want to hug me or touch me at all because she felt disgusted. She felt completely disgusted because she was just like constantly thinking about work, constantly thinking about other things, constantly understanding that she was hurt and abused when she was a child, or like other shit like that. Like she was told a lie her entire life about religion, about all those things that like, yeah, like she just constantly was thinking about her abuse. And when I come out with it, when I talk about it, when I really talk about it, it's like there's a huge weight that's lifted off my chest, and like I tear up and I get all fucking like I get all freaking what is it? I just like that's it. The weight is lifted off my chest. That's all I can say, I guess. And thank you guys for coming by, and I'm gonna probably stop this in a few seconds. And I'm gonna see if I'm gonna actually use the L and R buttons to like turn and shit. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna go to a different map. Let's go to the big rant. If you really understand that, like, there are certain people that go through certain trauma. It's the reason why sometimes they keep a certain theme or a certain thing near them, because they believe that actually gives them like solace in the fact that they got abused or the fact that they got hurt or something like that. Even with people you don't even know, like you can tell that they've either been hurt by someone very often, or yeah, 4. Oh, bitch, 26. Yeah, 126, baby. Yeah, 1260. That's what I'm talking about. That's the line. That was the line I did. I did that to Wilson too. That was cool. I was worried about them with a certain dude too. My nieces with a certain dude that was still there. It's still there in their lives that I can't talk about right now. And then the reason why he would mess with them, I guess, is because he thought it was funny. But the point is that like he would mess with my nieces like they were chicks in high school, which was fucked up. It was really fucked up, and it was like they were chicks in high school. Like it was like the same thing that I used to see dudes in high school constantly tell chicks when they actually liked them or some shit like that. And that's the reason why I just don't trust anybody anymore. And I love my sister, but I hate her for bringing all these fucking dudes into people's lives and my niece's lives. And now she doesn't know which one of them has fucked up the most. She just knows that she has to juggle it all, and she's like hurt herself and really been detrimental to her own health. So there's that. Yeah. That's the reason why I've been so standoffish. The reason why I'm socially starved, and I know it. Because I don't trust anyone. I don't trust anyone at all. It's hard. It sucks. And I hate it. And I realize that I hate it. But I realize that it keeps me safe. It keeps me away from people who might do me harm or danger. Or people who might socially hate me because of the things that happen to me. Or my certain position or fucking anything. I want to not tell people my sexuality because it just doesn't matter. Like I realize it doesn't matter, and I'm not going to get any support even if that happens. It's like the only thing I'm going to get support with is if I say things that are mentally stable and realize that you're mentally stable and understand that that's the reason why. And that's even still knowing that she's an abuser, I still don't say her name because obviously, hopefully I want to give her time to change. I want to give her time to change, and I want her to change. I want her to stop doing the shit that she's doing. Or stop thinking the thoughts that she's thinking, because they're just abusive and abuser thoughts. I want to have a better life. I want to understand certain things. I want to realize that this is the reason why it's happening, because she's not acknowledging certain feelings that she needs to understand are literally dictating her entire fucking existence. And that's the reason why I want her to just completely stop being such a fucking piece of shit. There's a part of me that doesn't believe, and there's a part of me that just wants to fucking murder her with my own goddamn hands. That's the point. Is I know that nothing else is going to give me solace. It's not going to make me stop crying. It's not going to make me stop thinking about or worrying about my nieces constantly. And understanding that abuse could possibly go to them, and they could possibly abuse people, or they could possibly become abused and become a victim constantly. That's what I'm afraid of. That's the only thing I'm afraid of. And I wish and I hope and I wish that I could understand that like maybe like if there's like some part of this person or this person that I'm speaking of that can literally just change in one day. They can just change all that shit. That's the point. Is they have two different personalities when they drink and when they're not drinking. And that's the point. Is it's just never not drinking. That sucks. It really sucks. And there's just like so much shit that I'm afraid of, and I want to teach my nieces that are okay and they're good, and I want them to be okay. I don't want them to hurt anybody or That's what I'm afraid of. That's the reason why I'm afraid. So that's the only thing I'm afraid of. I'm not even afraid of my own death. The thing is I'm afraid of is that they'll go down the same line, the same path, the same journey, and find out exactly the reasons why certain abusers and certain people never change their minds, and there's nothing they can do about it. Like, even the people they trust now, even the people that they believe are going to be the yeah. Even the people that they believe are like role models to them sometimes. It's like no matter what they're in, if they're still fucked up or they have secrets that they're hiding from people, they're never going to be truly honest with someone. And if they try to be truly honest, the only thing they're going to do is just be like, I'm afraid that's already happened. I'm afraid that my sister didn't see it, my sister didn't understand it, or didn't realize it at the time. I'm afraid they're already living that life. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that they don't understand the opinions and realize the abuse that happens within those people's lives. The reason why they're constantly fighting someone is because they were systematically abused by the system and people within that system, and not just systematic racism, but systematic pedophilic, a bunch of different shit. So much stuff is just not being acknowledged, and I hope and I pray and I wish that's not happening to them. I don't give a shit about praying, but I'll fucking pray to fucking hopefully it works. It works that they come out all right and they're not too traumatized or bullshit. They like. And that's the point. Is just like when I go into dark humor or when I go into something dark, it's because I'm feeling dark and I'm feeling fucking like evil and shit. I'm feeling evil. I know that there's evil inside of me. I'm a fucking human being, or partially human being at least. That's what I go into. I go in the gore and the fucking fucked up shit and see and understand how good I have it and how it gives me perspective and it makes me understand that shit is just fucked up everywhere else and there's no reason to fret. I'm just so afraid. And a part of me blames my dad because my dad never like gave us things to do. He just never tried to do anything. He was just always like, "Oh, what? Look, work at these knives, man." I don't want to throw knives, Dad. I don't want to throw knives. I already know how to throw knives. I don't want to throw knives. Learn how to camp and make your own tent. Make your own tent. I don't know why secretly my dad was teaching us all how to survive in the apocalypse. Learn how to not trust anyone, and secretly my mom was telling me how to survive in business ideals because people don't give a shit about race. They just give a shit about money. That's the real reason why every single fucking Wall Street banker or every single person that's made a racist joke is they don't give a shit. They're not actually racist. They're just shitty people. I don't know. I don't know how people are going to continually, constantly act like, oh, it's all owned by white people. It's like, no, it's not. Hardly, it's just owned by banks. Do you not know that? Do you not know most of this shit's owned by banks? Like, even the dude that owns the Hustler Club, all those dudes. Aw, damn it. Realize I can't even finish a half a cigarette. Constantly getting dry mouth, constantly doing things, just wondering exactly when I'm going to stop. That's all, man. And I have to realize that, like, every once in a while, I might just go absolutely crazy, like, fucking insane and start talking about some random thought just randomly generates in my fucking head. That's literally what schizoaffective just realize. Like, you feel like you're in a situation that you can't fucking solve, and in the most stressful situations, you're like, I don't give a shit. I just know that I'm gonna fucking come back as a goddamn eagle or some shit or something, and that's like the only thing you hold on to sometimes when you're schizoaffective. It's just like that thought of being either reincarnated and not having the same fucking problems constantly over and over and over again, and constantly feeling like there's no one to fucking talk to. About your problems, not about your sexuality. It's like, yeah, you don't understand other people with their hate. Yeah, whatever. I don't give a shit about people's hate. I give a shit about the stuff that's actually bothering you. The stuff that's actually completely and utterly bothering you. The existence you feel and the reason why you feel like your existence is completely and utterly fleeting, even though you understand yourself to be like, what, 14? Shit. Oh my gosh. So what? You have a God complex. Awesome. You feel as though that without your material body, you'd be better off. So understand that. Realize that that's the point. Is you feel as though God is near you, or God is somehow around you, but not inside you. The lie you've been told your entire life, the thing that's been told to you, is literally taking over your life, and realizing that no, it's not taking over your life completely, but it's around you constantly, and you want it to be in your life, but you can't have it because you think that it comes through some religion, but it comes through actually understanding yourself and realizing your individuality, and even within realizing your individuality, you realize that that's the omnipresent that you haven't felt in so long. Is understanding that it doesn't matter if God exists. You don't have to say God exists. But the point is that the reason why you're feeling that way, the reason why you're constantly fucking mentally fucking broken, because you're constantly comparing yourself with what you believe is to be good. Instead of understanding and accepting the fact that sometimes you're capable of shit that is just fucked up. And the reason why that world is fucked up to begin with is because you're capable of it. Accepting that you yourself are bad, you yourself are evil, you are the bad apple, you are the ugly egg, you are the ugly goose or some shit like that, the ugly duckling, the little train that couldn't. You are the person that literally your success depends upon, and sometimes you decide that success is going to just come to you, or you have to wait for it somehow, or you have to be patient and pray for it. But understand that no, you can't. It's worldly. It's something that you'll understand and realize when you're older, or you'll realize when you're more patient, being more patient with yourself. Understand the only patience you really need is understanding certain self-actualizing goals. You need to visualize your success and wonder what it feels like and how it feels like. So when you have it, you don't lose it. No matter what kind of success you have, material, spiritual, anything. I don't give a shit about what people say as far as religion goes. If you shut off the devil, you shut off God, fuck you. You're dumb. If you shut off evil things in your life, then yes, that's fine. You can stop those. But understand that you did them in the first place, and that's the reason why you're evil, the reason why you're bad, the reason why you're dumb sometimes. And the point is that can turn into certain jokes that you self-actualize and understand that dark humor is helpful. Dark humor is absolutely helpful. And it stops us from understanding different instances of the fact that people don't have a choice sometimes whether they exist or not. I don't know. Well, I'm going pretty heavy into it, but that's the point. Is I understand where the abusers are coming from. I understand where all this shit is actually coming from, but it's I don't understand why they have to constantly think that it's just about them and it's not about somebody else. Why does everyone have to constantly believe that they're the main character in a goddamn story, and that somehow the credits are going to make everything better? It fucking pisses me off. It's goddamn self-actualization sometimes. It just pisses me off. It makes me think that no, you have to realize that there are things that are fucked up in this world, and the reason why things are fucked up is people don't acknowledge how fucked up they actually are. And when it comes out, or when it rears its ugly head, you realize that person's fucking evil and stupid and hateful and hurtful, and they're fucking, oh, they're not that bad. Fuck you. They are bad. They can change, but I'm not gonna let them change in my mind until they actually change in real life. Yeah. Until Weinstein decides that he's gonna fucking actually give people money instead of constantly pushing them around and acting like they're his fucking property. And yeah, he's in jail for 23 years, so he has to think about that constantly. Hopefully he thinks about it often, and he changes. But he's probably not just gonna figure out ways to get around all the bullshit and then find some stupid way to keep all this wealth and shit. He's probably making moves and he doesn't even know it's going to affect his entire life for the rest of his life, no matter how long he lives. I hope he lives to be 1,000. So the motherfucker can actually have a little bit more solace and die peacefully. And realize that and the only real thing we understand in this entire life is that we don't have control over every situation that we're in. But we fake it. We fake like we have control, and then we're afraid of our own authority. We're afraid of our own authority and someone telling us that we're doing the wrong job, or we're saying the wrong thing. And I may have a fucking stupid bone in my body by saying the shit and saying what I didn't want to do to her, what I wanted her to acknowledge and say that was wrong, and tell me that it was wrong. That's the point. Is I realized that being an abuser is subjective. Being understanding and saying that yes, I want a real relationship with you. I want to stop doing this stuff, but understand that she said something first, and that's what stopped me from saying any of it. I don't want a relationship with her anymore. I don't want anything with her. I don't want her to understand anything at all. I want her to just go away. I want her to understand that yes, it's dumb, it's stupid. She's dumb, she's stupid. She's an abuser, a drunk, terrible person that abuses people, and she's a stop. That's the point where religion just does not give a fuck. Like some religion just does not care. It's like certain relationships that you have to nip a fucking bud in. This is like certain people who are adults who have relationships with children. It's like, I don't want them on social media. I don't want children on social media. You know why? Because the next motherfucking abuser that decides he's gonna fucking stalk your entire family, that's the reason why. That's the exact reason why. It's the reason why I hate my nieces on social media. They don't understand it yet. They don't understand it, but they'll get it when they're older. Because I love them, and I don't want them to stick their tongue out on Instagram. They see all these fucking people, they think that's the thing, but it's just like, it's fucked. It's fucked and it's stupid. And I hate it. There's so much shit I keep inside. So much shit I'm worried about, so many people I'm worried about. And I don't think it's like detrimental to my health. It's not. So no, my friends don't know about my stepmom. They don't know about the stupid shit that she did, or the things that she said to me when I was literally 16 or 17. So yeah, it was legal, but no, it's not fucking goddamn punctual or moral or anything when a fucking husband is sitting and sleeping right next to her. That's my fucking dad. So that's it. You are your own one-person bomb squad. You get a few situations that you think are happening, but remember, if no one believes you about everything that's happening in your life, or no one understands you or tries to get through to you to realize that shit's happening, and no, you're not an abuser, no, you're not a bad person, you're a good person, and yes, you tell the truth. And the reason why you tell the truth is you know that telling the truth will not set you free, but it will get you to a point where one day you can be free. And I'm saying tell the truth to your abusers. I'm saying tell the truth out loud, somewhere, anywhere, to someone that will listen. Hopefully a therapist. Have a good day. And you are your one person Bomb Squad. You can believe in yourself. You can be yourself. You can have a good day. And thanks, Ice Clan. Thanks everybody else for being in, and then saying that you care. But I mean, it's an empty gesture, but I appreciate it. And I don't know, just I'm gonna have to go somewhere to understand exactly what's happening and to realize that some people don't deserve to live. But I'm not the judge, I'm not the person that makes that happen. I'm not the person that make that decision, because if I was the one that made that decision, then they would be fucking dead already. So. But I'm not the person that makes the decisions. I'm a good person. I don't murder people. I just want them to meet their untimely death accidentally.